So you want to make YouTube videos, but you're like, damn, camera equipment could be so expensive. I don't have the funds for this bullshit. I just want to make videos, get paid, meet up with TJ Hunt, Adam LZ, Dustin Williams, Gears and Gasoline. I just want to do cool car shit and become famous. Well, friends, I'm here to tell you that that's actually achievable. To be honest with y'all, gear really isn't all that important. There's people that use the GoPro to make over $500,000. Meanwhile, you have someone who has a $6,000 camera rig who barely clocks in 12 grand a year. So does camera gear really matter? I like to think so, because I'm gonna ask you guys this question. What's more important, audio or video? At first, I always thought it was video, until I realized that I would much rather watch a video with proper audio than proper video. You could kind of compare it to podcasts. Would you rather watch a visual podcast that looks great but the microphones are ass? Or would you rather listen to a podcast that has great audio but the visuals are ass? Now you're probably asking yourself, Zosh, what the hell are you rambling about? What are you talking about? What does it matter? Honestly, it doesn't. I just figured I needed a nice way to open this video to talk about the gear that I use and hopefully inspire you guys to pick up the same gear. But just know, none of this stuff is affiliate marketing. I don't get paid for none of this shit. So it is what it is. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. It doesn't hurt or improve my pockets. But it is some good content. I hope. Alright y'all, if you're like me and you're constantly working on cars, you know sometimes those hard spots are impossible to see. Which is why I've been using this. The DXZ TAS, an articulating industrial borescope. With its HD camera and LED lights, you get a super clear view even in the darkest corners. No more guesswork when you're diagnosing those hidden issues. Whether you're checking for leaks, blockages, or need to just scope out tight spaces, this thing has got you covered. This scope has dual lens technology, equipped with front-facing and side-view camera. With precise articulation up to 180 degrees in either direction, maneuvering through tight spaces becomes effortless. Perfect for peeking behind engine components or inside HVAC ducts. That's right, this isn't just for automotive. So if you're anything like me and you lose that 10mm bolt and you don't know where the hell it went, this DXZ TAS endoscope, it's the bee's knees, bro. It's the truth. So if you're ready to find those lost 10mm sockets, be sure to click the first link down in the description box below and pick up yours today. I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I don't know how to exactly film these videos in a proper format, so I'm just gonna do the best of my abilities, okay? If you've ever watched a YouTuber talk about what's in their bag or a camera gear video, then you know how detailed and well executed their videos are. This ain't that. I'm just gonna open up my bag, show y'all what I got, put prices on screens. Probably that's too much work. Do I really care to put that much effort in that just for 2,000 views? I don't know, but let's watch his TikTok real quick because I think it's hilarious.
Jeff Hardy got on an interview and that said if I would have stayed healthy and I would have lived differently in my 20s, I think I'd be bigger than John Cena. Any who know wrestling, that's not a hot take. Niggas at least, for niggas, for the black community, for that nigga Jeff Hardy was bigger than Obama. I don't give a f what no nigga say. Jeff Hardy gotta be a top 5 black man. Jeff Hardy did more for niggas than Rosa Parks. All that did was take a fucking seat. This nigga Jeff Hardy would do a Swanton bomb. And this battling drug addiction. He was doing this shit. He was doing this shit off of Yerky. Friday night, off a ladder, his whole back up for the city. It's crazy.
That is facts. Jeff Hardy is top 5 black people of all time. But anyways, over the years I've been doing YouTube, I've noticed a lot of creators use different types of gear. GoPros, action cameras, GoPros, Insta360s, action cameras, DSLRs, SLRs, mirrorless, iPhones, Androids, you name it. A creator has used it. Which brings me to my next point. Does it really matter what you use? Does your audience really care what you use? And from what I realize, nope, they don't give two not 3, not 1, but the lucky number 2 poopies about what you use. If they like you for who you are, they don't care. They'll just watch to see what you're up to. It's like with anything though, right? But that doesn't mean that you neglect the quality of what you're producing. And one thing I do pride myself on when it comes to this content creation thing is having adequate equipment to provide you guys with solid quality. Maybe the content within the quality is kind of, it's boring, same old. But no one has ever said, yo, this video quality is ass. This audio quality is ass. And I can pride myself on that all day long. Now here's a disclaimer. I don't know if you know this or not. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy yet. You gotta speak positivity. You gotta say those things. You gotta say you are wealthy and you are rich and all the amazing things you wish to accomplish. You have to speak that out there. You know what I mean? If you say you're not, then the universe will gonna deliver to your ass that you ain't. So you have to say that you are those things. However, I disclaimer that to say equipment that I use is very inexpensive. It's very affordable. So for all my homies out there who wants to have the same Zosh style-esque of qualities and all that stuff, you very much can afford it. To kick this video off officially without all the yabberings, let me introduce to you my first piece of gear. Your iPhone or Android. I should have said your phone. I ruined that shot, didn't I? Oh well. If you're just now starting out, you don't need a crazy amount of equipment to get started. Phones these days shoot better than cameras 10 years ago. Dude, 10 years ago was 2015. Holy shit. In all seriousness, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is a beast. The Galaxy S24, a beast. Most flagship phones from these phone companies are beast. The only thing with using your phone as a video recording device is the storage. Unfortunately, you would have to spend a little bit more bucks and get an external SSD for your phone so you don't have to have all your video and photos all on just your phone storage, and then you can't really do anything. That's the only downside. But the upside, you have your phone with you every day. You can whip it out, shoot content, bam, 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 and keep it moving. This is iPhone 14 Pro Max footage using the front camera. To get really great video, you'd have to use the back camera. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to see myself, and I'm sure I'm out of frame. The colors aren't that bad. The audio quality may be a bit because I'm not using an external microphone with my phone, although you can use that. But this is just stock footage of an iPhone 14 Pro Max. The 16 Pro Max, however, I think you have way more video functionality. Now this is me using the back camera. I don't know the difference of quality, how it's going to look, but it should look a lot better than a front-facing camera. But I do want to mention that there's an app called Blackmagic, I think. It's a app that you can use that camera and you have more adjustability with your iPhone settings if you're not using the 16 Pro Max. If you're using anything less than the 16 Pro Max or 16 Pro, whatever you'd have to download that app, and then you're able to use the full functionality of the iPhone's camera using their software. So, thought I'd mention that. Nah, Zosh, I don't want to use my phone. F all that. I want to use la cremra. Well, say less, buddy. I got you. I might swerve. Whoa. Somebody just pulled up next to me, and I got scared. Such a bitch. So my plan on attacking this segment of the video of my bag stuff, I'm going to split this up into my client work setup versus my vlogging setup, because now I vlog on this camera, which we'll get to, but I think it'd be easier for you guys to understand what the hell I'm talking about when I'm talking about it and showcasing blah, 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 blah. This right here is my Sony a7 IV paired with a Sigma 24-70 Art 2 lens. This setup right here is probably the most Travis Scott setup. It's just, it works, bro. It works, it's perfect. I would honestly say this is inexpensive. The total retail value of just this lens setup, just the lens and the camera body itself, is this much. I think that's inexpensive only because of how great this camera is and what you could get out of it. It's phenomenal. My Sony a7 IV is spec'd out with a small rig cage. This cage comes in handy when you want to have external cold shoe mounts, more quarter thread mounts. You could add attachment handles to it. If you're thinking about building a rig, the small rig company is like your best friend when it comes to rig building or cool accessories for your camera, and it's very inexpensive. I paid, I believe, 70 bucks for this. I think, maybe 80, can't remember. I also have a variable ND filter. This is from K&F Concepts. This is their, I think, XD series, or this is the top of the line filter that they offer in their classment of filters. This is the top of the mother-loving line, playboy. I also have a bigger viewfinder. This was a cheap Amazon find. I think I paid like 7 bucks for this. This actually just helps with like not having to squint so much in the small factory one. You have a bigger eye-opening portal thingamajig, and it looks kind of cool. It makes you feel like a photographer or videographer. All right, so this is Sony a7 IV video quality inside of my room. I'm shooting an S-Log 3. This is without any color grade, straight out of the camera. Audio setup is my Sony ECM or BCM E10, MIM10, I don't know, it's on the screen. This is just something to add into the video because I didn't film any Sony a7 IV footage, but if you just YouTube a Sony a7 IV cinematic video, you can see the quality of this camera. It's phenomenal, bro. But this is just me doing some quick vlogging just to demonstrate the audio from the shotgun microphone and the quality of the camera. This might surprise you, but my work setup for client stuff is actually not a lot of stuff at all. Since it's laid out in front of me, I actually use a minimum of items, and yet I create bangers. Clients are happy. I win. This is literally everything I use for client work, and this was actually my previous vlogging setup. So, starting off with the Ulanzi little light. This light comes in handy in those situations where you can't really control the lighting, so this adds a little bit of control, but this is more or less for like vlogging situations, not like full-blown client setups where you like having a whole workspace to use. But for like small vloggers and things of that nature, this works perfectly fine. Next is my Mantis tripod setup. This thing is actually pretty sweet, and it has a cold shoe mount for that little item right there, or whatever item you want to use. Once you fold the legs in, you have a vlogging setup. Tripod setup like that. At the bottom of my a7 IV, that slides right on to that. As you guys can read, I have this, a charger and a power bank for my batteries for my Sony a7 IV. Now, I highly recommend buying the OE batteries instead of using the aftermarket crap, but for this, it wasn't bad. Like, it recharges batteries on the go, and it's a power bank. Can't beat it. And they're like 60 bucks. One OE battery for that Sony is like $80, and you get two with a freaking portable power bank that charges the batteries. You can't beat it, bro. You literally can't beat it. And what I believe to be the best wireless mics on the market, the Hollyland Lark Max. Dude, these are fire, bro. I use these for all of my client work, and audio, I never have to worry about audio peaking or any type of latency issues. Dude, this mic setup is fire. It's worth the $300 I think they're asking for this. And the last item I use is this tripod, and that's it. That's literally my whole work setup. You don't need much, bro. You don't need much. And when you want those shots for inside the car, I also use this Ulanzi SC02 suction cup mount thing. Majig, hig, fig, sig thing. This was like, I think 40 bucks. Pretty nice item. It has a 1/4" thread, so whatever adapter you want to use to throw onto this, you can do it. If you got a 1/4" adapter or thread adapter. Shit, I don't know what I'd be saying. And would you believe it? That's pretty much my entire work slash kind of vlogging setup. But we actually got to talk about the vlogging setup. So the total price of everything I just showed you for my work slash sometimes vlogging setup is this much. That's kind of crazy, actually. It's a lot of money. That's actually a lot of money. Do you need to spend that much money to get started making YouTube videos? No, that would be insane. That's a lot of money for no reward. A lot of risk, no reward. Because you could get something like what I'm filming on right now and probably make way better videos than what somebody who's now getting into YouTube using all that equipment is making. This is my everyday camera and it's been phenomenal, bro. Like, I've even had DMs saying, Zosh, I don't know what you did, but the vibes of the videos are like it's different, bro. It's like, it's much better. And to me, I thought it was a backhanded compliment because I'm like, damn, this whole time I thought I was making fire, but I was making nothing. But when I switched from my big rig to something smaller where I could actually just use it more in smaller spaces and mount it on the outside of the car, that if it falls, I'm not gonna be super butthurt that I just pretty much bricked a $500 camera in comparison to a $2,500 camera. You get what I'm saying? Lens on that thing is $1,000. So a pretty much $4,000 setup could be bricked if I mount it on the outside of the car and something happened, God forbid, and it falls, in comparison to if I mounted this outside of the car and this broke, then I'm only out of a couple $100. And that to me alone was like, yeah, I need a new vlogging setup to where like I'm not gonna be too worried about if something goes bad. And you know, these are tools, you know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta replace tools. But if you could find a tool that's very inexpensive and it produces high quality, you, my friend, have hit the jackpot. This is my beast of a vlogging setup, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo Edition, because I'm cool like that. The first piece of equipment I use is the Scotty Makes Stuff Extended Hardshell Pro Case, a must-have for vloggers, honestly. Hardshell has additional cold shoe mounts to mount your mic, lights, what have you, bro. And for the price of $35, it's a no-brainer. With the Creator Combo, you also get a battery extension pack, which ties in with my Scotty Makes Stuff Hardshell Pro Case, the Extendo version. But this is essential if you're out shooting all day, especially if you shoot 4K video like I do. 4K runs that battery up real quick. And here, behold, the beast, the Pocket 3. Probably my favorite camera of all time, because you could do it all with this camera, man. Shoot butter B-roll, take amazing rollers, hell, even pictures, bro. And if you purchase the Creator Combo, you get a wireless mic setup, making this truly the best bang for your buck. I also pieced together a tripod setup for the Pocket using the Insta360 selfie stick and some newer tripod legs off Amazon. Makes for a nice on-the-go vlogging stick and tripod setup. But let's say you don't want to use the DJI, you want to use like an action camera. Well, the only camera that I have that's an action camera is the GoPro Hero 10. This is my GoPro Hero 10 setup. It's very, very simple. I have a small rig suction cup mount, something small that can fit into tight places on windshields, whether you're driving a damn K car or whatever. This little small rig thing is the bee's knees, bro. Like I mentioned, small rig makes some dope shit. Then from there, I have this Ulanzi mount where you can mount on like poles, you can mount to like benches, like where I'm at right now. This thing is freaking awesome, bro. This is an awesome mount to get those cool ass shots. And the most important tool that every GoPro needs is ND filters. Putting some sunglasses on your camera and having the proper exposure and the proper video settings can create some of the most badass image quality that you thought wasn't even possible. And for the best POV action possible, the Boss Racing Street POV mount system, fire. In my last video, I did a POV drive with my Civic and that all came from this. God, it feels so good. Oh my God, I love this car. I was able to talk instead of, usually I would have like a mouth mount on my GoPro where I had to put the GoPro like I'm biting down on the mount, so you guys can get like the best eye vision POV. But this right here, the way it's set up, it's bro, he killed it. Mike over at Boss is a beast. He's a beast. And last and least, my outdated GoPro Hero 10 Black Edition with a ND filter 16 on. No SD card, of course, but dude, the quality of having an ND filter is just amazing, bro. The Osmo Pocket 3 is by far the best bang for your buck that you could get. Now, granted, there is no zoomable lens, there is no freaking fixing the aperture. It's stuck at, I think, f2. But for those who want to vlog and just be a run and go shooter with minimal photography, like maybe actually no photography, bro, this camera right here is the bee's knees. Now, a great alternative to this camera, price range wise, I would highly recommend the Sony ZV-E10. That camera is pretty sweet. I had bought that camera 2 years ago. I think when it first released, I was like, yo, this camera looks kind of sick. The screen flips out this way. It was the successor, in my opinion, to the A6400. That camera was phenomenal, and it also enabled you to take photos. So if you want a camera that you can take photos, swap out lenses, and pretty much do everything you wanted to do, then the Sony ZV-E10 is for you. Now, in my case, I picked up the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I just needed something that was a run and gun video operation. I already have my Sony a7 IV for photography and client work, and if I wanted to like make a really high-end YouTube video, then I would use my Sony a7 IV because I have the lenses and yada 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 yada. But for vloggers, automotive content creators who just want to get into the field with something nice, comes with a wireless mic as well if you get the creator combo. And one thing I failed to mention, since I didn't script any of this video, this is all just like improv. It's bad. I need to start writing a script and sticking to it. But the one thing I forgot to mention is ND filters for the Osmo Pocket 3. You need these if you want that crisp, cinematic, beautiful quality of video, which I've been using. You want to get some ND filters. These are K and F concept variable NDs with different stops. You got 32, 64, 16, and 8. And these are a game changer. ND filters on any of your camera is a game changer. You definitely need ND filters. If the audio sounds a bit weird, I did leave my microphone in the car and I don't feel like going up and down the stairs again, so I'm being lazy. But the best thing about this is, this video's over anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have links down below to everything I mentioned or failed to have mentioned that I use in my day-to-day operations as a YouTube automotive content creator slash client contractor, videographer, photographer, editor, blah 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 blah. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any questions, concerns, and any of that stuff, be sure to keep them to yourself. And I'll be sure to catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Kidding. Obviously, DM me on Instagram or leave a comment down below.